Welcome back to our next segment of Patched. I'm Paul James, we've got Jay Parnas, Damo Camilleri here.
Good to see you back.
And this segment here, we're going to be sitting down basically giving you some updates of what we've kind of been up to gaming-wise. We're going to talk about the video game draft again and whatever else kind of this conversation entails. So what have you guys been playing lately?
So I've been playing a stellar chunk of Bloodborne, finally got through the DLC and stuff. I've dumped possibly upwards of 200 hours into that game since I started playing it in the last month and a half, 2 months, something like that. That game is just something else. I've played a bit of Rocket League here and there. Some stuff. Been playing some games.
Borderlands at all?
Yeah, a bit of Borderlands here and there, just with the missus. Just trying to think. Picked up Street Fighter 5. Got my ass kicked online and then put down Street Fighter 5. No, it's alright. It handles pretty smoothly. I'm used to some older Street Fighter games, which...
So there's growing pains?
Oh, yeah. I think there's a lot to like. We can talk about the technical stuff in a little bit if you want.
Yeah.
But, well, how about you? What have you been up to?
3 games, really. Risk of Rain.
So you've been playing Risk of Rain?
Yeah, I jumped back on it.
Where's my online invite, mate? I love that game.
I don't know why I played it. Oh, that's right. I went to play it to show Morley, and then I was like, fuck it. And then I just played a little bit more. And
that game's awesome.
What was else? Marvel Heroes 2016 is the only online game that I play. What do you call those online games? Like World of Warcraft and shit. What are they called?
MMOs.
MMO, yes, the only MMO that I touch. It's great because I haven't actually spent any money on it, and I've gotten half the shit I want in just their weekly events, so that's cool. Yeah. And mostly I've been playing Magicka, the first one, because I want to play Magicka 2, and, well, I kind
Sequential order is important.
Well, not only that, but I have this little belief that you can't really buy a sequel to the game on Steam until you complete the first one. Otherwise, you just have this huge library in Steam, and you've done nothing. I still got to play Half-Life.
Yeah, I've still got to play some...
Look, don't worry, you got time for Half-Life before Half-Life 3 or Episode 3, whatever crap it is they eventually churn out comes out.
Really? A Half-Life 3 joke in our first...
No, but it's being legit. Whatever it is that happens, you've got a long time.
Yeah, you probably...
That's not a joke, because they're the worst sort of little petty gamer jokes.
Yeah, it's meaty shit.
Anything else? Because you said there was 3, so you
played Marvel Heroes, Risk of Rain, and Magicka.
There we go. Me personally, I've been playing Dark Cloud since PlayStation re-released it on the PS4, the old PS2 classic. Unravel, Firewatch. You can check out my Firewatch review on Player 2 at the moment.
I do want to get into that at some point.
Really, really good game, really immersive. Loved every moment of it, but I won't say too much because it's hard to say much about the game without spoiling it. Spoiling it. Spoiling it.
That works. I'll pay it.
Patched.
Yes.
So you'll never see the bloopers, but I've butchered it a few times.
The real patch starts now.
Yeah.
The real Dark Souls starts now.
But yeah, Unravel, which is a really good game outside of its final level, which is, I'll be frank, poorly designed.
Poorly designed, or you just couldn't muster up the talent to be able to beat it?
No, I beat it. I beat that.
I'm just staring you up,
it was just...
I'm just having a laugh, don't worry.
It's just some of their time allocations to certain things meant that it was like you were relying on a fair bit of luck, and the mechanics weren't as tight as they needed to be. So when you go throw your yarn, the general idea is you're heading up a hill. It was a blizzard. You need to keep this lantern with you for warmth, so Yarny didn't freeze. You drag it up a hill, but then as the breeze picks up, it starts to blow it back down. And there's little points that you can kind of lock yourself onto where you've got to attach your yarn to the nail or whatever it was that was hanging out of the ground and to the lantern, so that when the breeze picks up, it doesn't get dragged away. If you get picked up by the breeze, it also drags you away. So you've got to try and do all 3 things. You've got to attach it to the anchor point on the ground, attach it to the lantern, and then quickly attach yourself to one of those 2 things before the breeze picks up and blows you away. And it's a very short space of time between that happening, so you very rarely make much progress. And
why couldn't you anchor yourself to... I've never played the game, so I don't know the mechanics, but could you anchor yourself to the anchor point and anchor the lantern to you?
No.
Bad game. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Sorry.
Very good game. It was just that one segment, and it went for. Look, it was. If you played through it without making any mistakes, it'd take you 2 or 3 minutes. But in the end, that cushion there got beaten senseless. The girlfriend starting to cringe sitting a couple of seats down because she was actually the one that was playing the game. Angelica was the one playing the game, and she'd kind of throw me the controller if she had any issues with it. So I only kind of probably put half hour, 40 minutes into the whole thing and kind of watched the rest while I was writing articles or whatever.
Right.
But she threw me the control for that bit, and every other time, no issues. Like, deal with it. Here's the control. Off you go. Continue. Have fun. And then that one just stopped me for 40 minutes, and there was a fair bit of abuse.
Do you still have a save? Could I have a crack at that level afterwards?
Yeah, we probably could. Yeah, I think it'll be there somewhere. I don't think I deleted anything afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise that's what I've been playing lately. So those 3. I guess I'm eyeing off because Far Cry comes out next week. I'll be looking forward to getting into that.
Yeah, I haven't really seen much of it. I'm kind of a bit burnt out on the whole Far Cry thing.
Well, I'm interested to see what the critics say about it when it comes out because
I feel like
there could be a bit of franchise fatigue there.
I feel like Blood Dragon is where Far Cry peaked for me. Probably a really awkward statement, but that shit was rad.
But people love Blood Dragon.
Oh, but I don't know. I think it's a fantastic use of their engine. Assumedly, they're using the Far Cry 4 engine.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know why they don't just get.
It'll be a modded version of it because I have no doubt that right now the main studio is probably working on Far Cry 5 or whatever it is they've got next.
Yeah. And look, Stone Age
is a different studio.
Stone Age is a cool sort of side thing, but go stupid, man. Like, do something real dumb, but just make like a full game release out of it. I think, like, if Blood Dragon had been a full, like, Far Cry 3 length campaign, had they got some of the jokes a little better, 10 out of 10 best game. Like, really, that game was great. It was dumbed down a little bit, and some of the jokes weren't great, but other than that, looked great, sounded great, played great, done.
Anything else that you guys are looking forward to that's coming up in the near future?
I'm considering Dark Souls 3. I don't know how that's not that close.
Yeah, we'll still have another recording session of these before then, but that's early April. But at the same time, no, fair enough. You're kind of hooked on your Bloodborne, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing because I mean, there's no Metroid coming, so
not anytime
soon. So
Federation Force doesn't count.
Fire Emblem, man.
It does not.
That's where I'm at.
The thing about Fire Emblem, like, it's out in the US, but we don't have a date out here. Us, Europe, UK, we don't have one, so we're still kind of treading water.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on my pre-order that's seemingly seemingly vanished. The one like I pre-ordered it through EB. I've tried to reduce the number of pre-orders I've made these days, but with that particular special edition, you'd get all 3 games in the one package. Where ordinarily they only sell 2 of them retail, Birthright and Conquest, and then I think it's Revelations or whatever the last one is.
Yeah,
is a downloadable thing that you can buy.
Yeah.
And like, as we can see, like I do love a good collector's edition, or like I still like packaged goods, even though I know that we're inevitably going digital. I like to have that tangible thing. It looks good on a shelf or whatever.
The more digital that we go, though,
the
more tangible those things become.
Yeah.
Because the more of a collector's item they are, because it's like if you don't have a collector's item for that game, your game is just data that gets downloaded.
Well, yeah, I think eventually it gets to the point where the game is just data, and you can go to a store or you can get Amazon or whatever it is they can give. Yeah, it's merchandise instead.
Or it'll just be like a USB key or something like that, or like a flash drive or some like a SD card or something that you click in, games on there, done.
Yeah.
And that's it, and it'll be hidden somewhere. Like you have like a little statue or something, and click, out comes a game.
Yeah. No.
Or any sort of just, hey, cool, here's a download code that is wrapped around your figure of Duke Nukem, because they're totally going to make another one of those. No, they probably won't.
Duke Nukem forever and ever.
Yeah, Duke Nukem and ever. Yeah, that's it.
Damo, what are you looking forward to? Anything on the horizon at all? You're not really.
Oh, yeah, that's like Fire Emblem, man. Like I'm like, and Pokemon Go. Like I want to see what's going on with Pokemon 20. That commercial thing got me hyped to think of the future of Pokemon. Like if that could be a thing, like imagine that holographic stadiums. I mean, if you're looking into like if you're looking into things like that, Card Fight Vanguard have already, like Bushido Roads, the people who produce it, actually have already produced things from like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like you put the card down and it's now starting to animate the thing. So it's like, if that's a thing that's happening on a table, like stadium-wise, it couldn't be too far off. And I mean, Pokemon especially, like being a life source of its own, is very much capable of just going.
And you start looking at
we can do that a lot better.
The HoloLens stuff that Microsoft is doing, and with
that sort of technology.
Not to mention
like
with the weird.
It could be incredible.
And it doesn't even have to be like, I'm talking like a stadium of 75,000 people. You could have like, just it held at a basketball court, if that, thing, and it would be like, oh my god.
At the same time, there's no reason why in time that you couldn't necessarily, like it could become that big sort
there's
thousands of people in the doors. But like if you've got that holographic sort of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at like
you can sit in the crowd and there's this giant Dragonite, Charizard, whatever it is, just emerges from the ground.
You look at League of Legends, Dota, all of those.
They could be duking it out in the skies in front of you. Like, that would be amazing.
That's what I'm saying. They've got all of that with your Dota and your League of Legends. You have millions of people watching.
Yeah.
So if you then add I'll be in
real
the crowd and I can look at a thing that's happening.
Yeah. I'd be sold.
Yeah, I'd consider
put that up against a Geelong game and I'd...
But I mean, you look at the HoloLens type stuff, and you start to think, well, okay, Nintendo's been very sort of, open but not open. In other words, potentially leaking potentially incorrect information about the NX and how it's going to interact with other companies. And you think, let's say it is going to interact with other companies' hardware. What does that mean if the NX is compatible with the Microsoft HoloLens?
Yeah.
And what does that mean for something like Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
There's a lot of possibilities.
You start to think about some really insane shit.
Stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, like, that could be completely bullshit. So, who knows?
Yeah. What do you say something to the crowd? If you want to add me on Steam, it's under Zoe Second Runner. So if you want to join me on Magica or anything like that, don't be afraid to ask.
He's looking for people to play with.
But if you want to
not even that. Like,
if you play Risk of Rain, you will get nothing. Rude.
But if you just want to add us on Steam, like, I'm barely on it, but
Yeah, if we get any requests, I play on Steam semi-regularly. If you,
what is your Steam name?
No, if we get requests, then
if we get requests, okay,
pop it out there.
Put them in the comments, and then if we see another,
then
maybe Jay is prepared to share himself. Then
don't make it weird.
Yeah, it sounded a little sus. Moving on. Last
what are you
last
looking
thing
forward to next? You didn't give us yours.
Well, Far Cry I'm looking forward to.
But
if we're going to stretch new upcoming releases out as far as Dark Souls, then throw Uncharted 4 in there, throw Ratchet and Clank in there. Outside of that, and I guess, I'll play Twilight Princess. End of the year. Twilight Princess HD will be out in 2 weeks. The Division's out in 2 weeks. Like, there's a few good games that are all starting to roll in the next little while. So Ubisoft's got a good
Destiny that might.
Yeah.
Rather than
could
Destiny
usurp
that
and
did.
completely overtake Destiny potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. From what I've seen,
anecdotal evidence says there's a lot of Destiny players that are itching to jump into this.
Yeah, and look, nothing against Bungie. I sort of dug Destiny.
It's improved outside.
Your loot was still shit, but your end game was kind of fun, I guess. It's just your early game sucked. But if the Division can nail it, which from what I've seen from some of the beta gameplay, it looks like it gives you very specific goals and very specific, like, obvious rewards for what you're going to be getting for playing early.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a really good way to get players hooked. So hopefully that kicks off, because I wouldn't mind another looty game. I'm probably getting towards exhausting Borderlands and all the business that's happening there. Gearbox, help me out, please.
Battleborn.
No. Gearbox, actually help me out, please.
So then, moving on, the last thing we'll do before we shut this one down is give you a quick update to the fantasy draft. The fantasy draft that Jay and I did last month. So there's been a couple of those games that have come out since we recorded it now, and between that and today.
I think I would be running purely on the amount of releases I've had. I think I've got more out.
Yeah, you're certainly in front of the moment because you've had more games that have come out. But I'll go in order of the games, regardless of who you've selected and their release.
Sure.
So the first game on the list here is Street Fighter V that I picked, and it's currently sitting on a Metacritic of 79, which is far lower than I expected.
Works for me.
But I'll talk about what I might do with that shortly. XCOM 2 is one that you've got, and that's currently sitting on a Metacritic of, what did I say before, 89 or 90?
88, I think it's sitting at.
Okay, so that's flying, and who knows what will happen with that one, because it is heavily rumoured that there will be, before the year is out, a console-based version of the game.
Which I think did
which
better than the PC version last time
around.
around.
The 360 version did
In
better.
fact, I think we found out before that the iOS version of Enemy
Yeah,
Unknown was the top-rated one. But
which was interesting,
yeah,
but we don't expect that to come out this year.
Probably, if at all.
But so that's flying for you at the moment.
Yeah,
So you've got no reason to use one of your wild cards on that one.
But even if I did, I do have one of my wild cards that has come out.
Yeah,
We'll
so
talk about in just a
which
moment.
we'll get to
Has anything else come out?
next. Actually,
Has anything else come out?
we've had one wild card each that have come out. So
Okay, sure.
you had Firewatch,
I
and
did.
that's sitting on low 80s. So that's I think it's 82 or something like that at the moment, and that's if something doesn't quite go the way you want it, an 82 jumping straight in is
Absolutely.
pretty good.
Sure.
Now, obviously,
Street Fighter.
Yeah,
No offense.
no, straight away.
Yeah.
You're not offending me because I'm not a big fighting game fan.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's pure numbers,
From the-
obviously.
yeah, that's all
We
it
don't
is.
put a huge stake in Metacritic.
No, we don't.
Between at least.
but it
lads.
gives us a metric that allows
Yeah,
us
absolutely.
to
Gives
conduct
us
this.
a number. Yeah.
So that an 82 is perfectly fine, especially if something
Sure.
doesn't come out for you. For
Yeah,
example,
absolutely. If it's better than a 0, for
like,
sure.
Like you've got Zelda on your list, for example. In the event that somehow slips into next year, well then
Sure.
you've got a game straight away that's.
I mean, I've also
go straight in.
got Crackdown 3, which is very nebulous
Yeah.
to begin with. So.
And I'll need a few of mine to perform, so thankfully one of mine has. Fire Emblem Fates has come out. Now
Somewhere.
there's 3 different versions of the game, and we're talking about 4. The Revelations one, the DLC one, no one's been putting scores down for that because it's kind of a weird standalone thing.
Did we discuss whether you were able to have the whole lot?
No, we're picking the
Was
best
that,
or
was
the
that how
average.
we?
And we'll have to revert. I'll have to go back and look.
I'm
at the
pretty sure
video to work out
we
what
did
we're doing.
discuss it. I recall.
But
I don't remember what we actually came to.
2 of them have been getting reviews. The DLC one hasn't.
Okay.
Birthright and Revelation, and Conquest are the 2 that are out, and they've got Metacritics of 89 and 88. So I'm
It's
happy
up there.
one way
sure,
or the other.
absolutely. That's again better
and
than Street
like-
Fighter.
and in the
I would
case-
sub that in now
Yeah.
almost.
Well, I'll wait and see what happens because I might have something that doesn't come in. There's no point in me making any of those changes till the end of the year.
Sure. Okay. So we can't.
But
do
again,
this.
I've got a few that might not make it. Final Fantasy will come out. They're announcing the release date next month.
Which hopefully is 2016 for you.
Yeah, if they're going to announce it in March of 2016, then I would imagine it's going to come out within
Hopefully.
the next
Hopefully they're trying to-
8 to 9 months of that.
I mean, they might be trying to beat the June
The
rush.
E3 roll.
That's right. You wouldn't want to have any press like that come out just before E3.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got a few that are a little bit dodgy. So, like, I've got Mass Effect Andromeda that may or may not happen. They said holiday 2016 for a while, and if something goes wrong, they've lost some riders in the recent weeks, so maybe that slips. And Horizon Zero Dawn may or may not come out, so we'll see how that goes. But aside from Street Fighter V, I think both of us should be pretty happy with what we've been scoring so far. It's a pretty
looking
solid
at-
start.
Like taking another look, because if you go back and watch the video, you'll notice that after a couple of poaches from this chucklehead over here, I was out a few key options that I wanted to go with, and I sort of built some of my list on the spot. So seeing that Firewatch even, which I did pinch from you, I believe,
Yeah, you did.
even though it's a wild card, has performed pretty well.
No, you should be very happy with that.
Absolutely. I knew that it would because the way that it was sort of talked up prior to that, the way how no one was really revealing anything, but it was still getting high attention a lot of time.
There was a lot of buzz.
Yeah, I feel like it was being predicted to be pretty good, which it totally has. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. Not too sure. How my indies are going to go this year, but I think if my indies perform, I'm with a really strong chance. Hyper Light Drifter, Cuphead, I'm looking at you. Come on, get it done. And if they do, that's it. I think you might actually be in trouble. I was initially worried, but looking at how some of your games that you've chosen, and especially Street Fighter.
Street Fighter's hurt me because I wasn't counting on that scoring as poorly as it has. So I'll need some of those other games, Horizon and
Yeah,
the other one was?
Horizon Zero Dawn and Mass Effect.
And Mass Effect, like I'll need them to both come out. I can't. I'm probably at a point now where I'm already getting a little edgy about games that
if you get a zero,
will not come out. If I start subbing in games to replace zeros and have to stick with Street Fighter, well then I'm on the back foot.
Crippled, yeah. Which is what I'm hoping.
But at the same time, I am expecting big things from my 3 wildcards, which obviously Fire Emblem's delivered already.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Fair enough.
Alien Nation, Housemarque just don't make bad games. They just don't get bad Metacritic scores. And then Ryan is one that I'm maybe a little bit of a Hail Mary. I'm placing a bit of trust in that one, but it's an indie that I'm really loving the look of. And
same with mine. I've got Megasphere on there and River City. I always get
Rampage. That's, whatever it is.
I always forget the name of that one. The new River City game that has come via Kickstarter. I think. Look, I love the look of those games, and I think if they do get it out this year, which they probably all based on the developers' feeds that I've had a look at, they might also be in with a chance as well. So here's hoping. I'm hoping for a similar bit of Thomas Happ luck.
Yeah.
Where I can get myself some good scores there.
Alright, and that's the end of the update section, so tune in next time where we'll be delivering our topic of the month.
See you in the next episode.
And we'll see you in the very next episode.